Radio, we your radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride, baby. And you know the commissioner is here. Hey, commissioner.
How's it going?
Yeah, he's not that commissioner to help you with your water and promises in your neighborhood and stuff. He's the basketball and the sports commissioner, Gordon. And I'm telling y'all, these conversations that are going on inside the studio, I don't know why I don't have my phone up on my YouTube page. Oh my God, George, are we going live? We live when we on the air? Look, oh my God, and see there, and you got these. Get this damn camera out my face, and we not going live. We on the air. I'm thinking he recording while we on the air, child. And I ain't put my YouTube up, but the conversation that we're having in the studio, honey, just we not talking about sport. We just talking about life, because we get to talk about something, and it just lead us to live conversation. Right. And the conversation we were just having.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about having real friends around you. Mm-hmm. Just talking about having real people, not even just friends. Somebody who's gonna shoot you straight. If you know you out here moving funny, or one of your friends was moving funny, don't be afraid to pull them to the side and say, "Hey, stop doing that. Mm-hmm. What are you doing?" Okay. Whether it's drugs, whether it's something else that's illegal, whether it's something that's causing problems at home, marriage, whatever. It doesn't hurt you as a friend to pull somebody to the side and say, "Hey, man, I think you need to slow down."
Because I think a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people think that they're going to be cut off. And the bottom line is, if you cut off, that's a relationship that you were not supposed to be in anyway. And It's just like, if you get cut off, the bottom line is you fulfilled your position while you were there. Basically. Because you were there to plant a seed.
Exactly.
And if you plant that seed, then and you get cut off, then okay, somebody else has to come along and water that seed.
And I would never be upset at somebody say, why you ain't cool with such and such anymore? And I'm like, oh, try to tell that dude stop cheating on his wife. he ain't want to talk to me no more, because I wouldn't facilitate him cheating on his wife or whatever. Anything, whatever happens, if that's the reason, if it's a valid reason, don't be afraid to speak up and say something, because like we said, we see it all the time with celebrities. George brought it up with like Mike Vick and Jamie Foxx. There was nobody to tell Mike Vick
about them dogs.
About them dogs. Like, what are you doing, dog? You out here, you can't get out of practice fast enough.
But then I'm gonna say you gonna back up off Michael Vick. I'm
bitter about that.
Everybody know that's my old man.
I'm bitter about Vick.
But the thing about it is with Michael Vick. Now with Michael Vick, I think that is different because Michael Vick knew about the situation. Right. But it was his brother or his cousin or somebody else that was running that dog ring.
His cousin was running. The whole situation is actually really stupid. So I think his brother was running the ring, but his cousin is selling drugs. They followed the cousin for selling drugs. Mm-hmm. They stopped him at like a gas station, whatever he was doing. And to get out of the drugs, he tell him about the damn dogs. Mm. And guess who? When you see the Mike Vick name on the dogs,
that's it.
That's the story.
That's the money.
That's the whole story.
Right.
They don't care about this damn weed you was just selling.
We got a bigger story.
Right.
That's a bigger situation. And then on top of that, it's just like we go the whole dog ring thing. It is something that's big with celebrities.
Yeah.
Dog fight and cockfight.
Well, you know what? I did not. Well, and growing up probably in the South, I never thought that it was illegal. I've seen dog fights numerous times. Growing up, I had a whole different story. So a friend of mine is, a little on the hustling type world, and so we going to one of his friends' house. And we get to the house. We pull up in the driveway. It's a big ass pit bull in the driveway. And immediately I'm like, I ain't going.
Let's go.
He like, come on, man. Let's go. So I said, hey, bro, I'm not fooling with that dog. Like, I see that big ass dog right here. I'm not going. So he called the guy. He said, hey, man, go in out here to he got to do something with the dog, bro. Whatever. And I'm like, all right. So he come out, and he moves the dog. He tell me, he like, man, this dog ain't going to do nothing to you. He just big. He just want to have sex. So he said he uses this big dog that looks like a horse as a stud. And all he do, so if you want to start selling puppies, or you want some puppies, he bring his dog to you. You pay him $700. He get your dog pregnant, and then your dog have a litter. He takes 2, and then you can sell the rest. So that was that dog. I think his name was like Duke or something stupid. But we get there, and so we start talking to whatever, and he starts talking about the dogs. And as a matter of fact, like he even threw out there that he was fighting dogs. He was like, "Yeah, man, I took some money from Mike Vick," and I was like, "Huh?" This is before all the stuff came out. And we went to his backyard, and he has like a kennel full of dogs. He had this one dog in the middle. It's a little bitty pit bull that's chained up to the fence. And he was like, "You want to see something?" So he goes to one side, he unlocks the chain, dog takes off straight to the middle of this little bitty dog in the middle of the yard. And they just go to fight. Just the dog, this little dog is still on the chain. And they just going to fight, and they're going to fight, and they're doing nothing. I'm like, bruh.
What is going on?
What you doing over here? Because you live right next to a McDonald's. Let's start there.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You live right next door, like somebody in the drive-thru, like, what the hell them? What they doing?
Okay.
But he just let him go. So he makes some little commands or whatever, and the dogs kind of stop each other. And he sent him back over to the side. He was like, "Yeah, I think he's ready."
Train fighter.
And he said, "If you can get in here and you can hang with this little one, whatever the little dog was, if you can get in here and you can run with him, I can take you on the road." And I was like, oh, okay. That's how you getting down, But I never thought of it like,
it's illegal.
Tell the police on this nigga. Like I never thought about like it's illegal. I had like other friends. I knew a friend neighbor down the street who would raise dogs. I don't think he was fighting them, but he was raising dogs. So I never looked at it as this is an illegal business. So I say that to say I'm sure with Mike Vick growing up in a similar to worse environment, you never think like, oh, this is what the cops are gonna get me for. Like out of all the stuff I could possibly do, dogs ain't gonna be it. And so that directs you to his attitude, because he was very cavalier about it when they started asking him about like Buddy from Fox 5, like, "Hey, Mike Vick." They talk about the dog, like, "Yeah, whatever, get out my face." And he walked into like the movie theater or whatever he was doing. Right. Like, yeah, all right, well.
But the crazy part about it is, the moral of the story, the crazy part about it is, Michael Vick was when he was in the NFL and he was destroying the other teams and he was at the prime of his career, Michael Vick was not a person that you would want to interview. A lot of people wanted to interview Michael Vick, but You're Michael Vick was like, "Child, I don't got to do that. I talk on the field. I don't need to." But what that situation did was open up Michael Vick to say, you need to become more human. And you need to let everybody know that although you are Michael Vick, you are going to have to show them that you are a human being.
Well, it humbled him.
Yes, it did.
It knocked him down because he was, like you said, he was at the top. He was the NFL. He was the face of the NFL.
He was the face of Atlanta, the NFL. And
if you were a rapper, you had to have Mike Vick in your video. If there was something going on in the city, Mike Vick had to be there because you had to have that star power. And I remember the Nike had the commercial, and it was called the Michael Vick Experience. It looked like a Superman ride or the ride at Six Flags, where the kids sit down and he strap in and they move him around like he's running around in the pocket, and the linebacker hit the guy, and he zips around and finally flips into the end zone, and like it was a Six Flags ride, and they would play that all prime time, whether it was the Falcons were playing or not. Sunday night football, Monday night football. They were going to play and show you that we had a superstar in Michael Vick.
Okay. But I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, hold it down right here. We are your radio. We're your radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride, baby. So the moral of this story is get you some good people to hang around you. It's just like Grandma said, honey. Ain't nothing changed about the situation. Friends. Welcome back to Club Chit Chat with the DJ Miss Sophia right here. We are your radio. We are your radio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride. I'm in here with the Commissioner Gordon. Hey, Gordon.
What's going on?
Haven't been here in a while, and baby, I wish we could just talk throughout the break. Not have a break and just have a straight conversation. Turn this into a talk show like we do on Saturdays. But you know who's sitting over there? The CEO, baby. He have a fit. But we were just talking about all the things that are going on in sports, and you would also talk about the Ball family.
Right.
Go on and talk to her.
Well, it's just ironic. Like we talked about the whole, and her name was Brittany Renner, if you were listening earlier, and I was talking about PJ Washington, and we were talking about how she trapped him, and she declared that she was going to trap an athlete.
Right.
Because in her words, they were stupid and they were easily manipulated.
And put it on video and had the video out there. It was public information, public knowledge of these videos.
Right. And so I raised the question, it was a couple episodes back, like when it actually happened on my podcast. Like, where was his OGs? Where's his friends? Where's his uncle, cousin, dad, whoever? That when you bring this young lady around and you say, yo, like you looking all dumb, like this is my lady. They pull you to say, hey, bro, what you doing? Have you seen this video? And they show you the video. But to circle it back around to LeVar Ball, when LaMelo got drafted, they were on, I think it was ESPN or NBA TV, whichever one. They was, broadcasting the draft. And they were saying, did you have any good advice for LaMelo now that he's coming into the league and he's doing all this? And he was like, yeah, I've been telling him about these hoes. And the lady sat there, she was like, whoa, she was kind of shocked because, that ain't the answer you looking for,
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, and he's like, no, he straightforward with it. Like, no, I'm telling him he's in these clubs. He's going to be at these games, at these bars. He's going to be in different arenas. He's going to be at these hotel lobbies. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be anywhere where he's going to meet a wholesome woman. So I'm telling him and I'm warning him for, first and foremost, to be on the lookout for these hoes. Right. And when the dust settles, after you probably have gone through all the stuff that you're going to do, you probably will then meet, later on in life, meet you a woman that you can settle down with. But right now, these women are out to trap you. And that's exactly what happened. Who, ironically, now that I think about it, is P.J. Washington's
baby
teammate.
Mama.
No, it's his teammate. Him and LaMelo Ball on the same team. So you have one who apparently didn't have the speech, who's caught up with the woman who, according to her, is now stepdaddy season.
Looking for somebody to take care of the baby.
She's looking for part two. She's looking for another sucker. And then you got him out here who's probably just like, entertaining women, but he's not a fool enough to think that they actually love him. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you were talking about comparing this situation to like the Kardashian. It's just like a lot of people thought that when that tape of Ray J and Kim Kardashian got out, that was it for Kim Kardashian. But she is a what? She's a billionaire now.
She's a billionaire. And then a lot of people, y'all get upset at her because we got a lot of black girls that did the same thing.
She became the blueprint.
Yeah.
She legit became the blueprint. And shout out to Kris Jenner because she's the PR queen, apparently, because she knows what makes you want to click on it. And I don't know if she's pimping them out. I don't know what she's doing, but apparently somebody got turned them on to black men, and they ain't looked back since, except the one that's now with Travis Barker. But she's the only one that's stuck on the white side. But everybody else, they found dark meat, and they sticking with it.
But I think she with him because he kind of give black all them tattoos.
Right.
But really, she put him on the map because he been out there for a minute. But I ain't really started looking at him till she started hanging with him. And then every time I see them all hugged up and kissed, I say, "Ooh, I wish that was me."
I think the group was like Blink 182.
You think?
Because I'm not a rock and roll, you know what I'm saying?
Rock, sir.
But I knew him because, like you said, he was the outlier. Like if you saw the group, you could always see him. He would always have videos, his shirt off, tattoos.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know how long ago it was. I want to say 5 to 8 years ago, somewhere around there. He survived a plane crash.
Right.
And that was like, whoa, wait a damn minute. You don't hear that.
Right.
If your plane went down, how many times do you hear somebody walking away? I'm sure he can just get up and walk away, but you never hear that. So he's always kind of been somewhere around, and I'm sure in Hollywood circles, everybody knows who he is. But yeah, I mean, you got, what is it, Kylie? Is that the one? That's the one with Travis Scott.
Kylie Jenner.
That's the one with Travis Scott.
That's pregnant again because they were just supposed to be co-parenting, but she was in there getting her some more of that sugar. No, we just co-parenting. We're not trying to get. No, I'm moving on from that. I'm just moving. No, y'all, the way he flew down there, y'all done went out of the country to celebrate your birthday and his birthday and then the baby birthday. Oh no, baby, that's more than co-parenting, honey. Y'all cohabitate. But to bring it back to the Balls, when the Balls dad, he started all that talking at the beginning, and we was talking about how he was the Richard Williams, Serena and Venus Williams dad of basketball. Because a lot of people said that, oh, child, now you setting the bar too high for your sons, honey. You need to get out of the way. You're gonna be in the way. And now he's getting the last laugh.
Well, at the time they wanted somebody to poke fun at and make fun of, and he was the loud voice in the room because he believed in this. And now he's looking like the ultimate dad. Like, I wish my dad had belief in me like damn LeVar Ball. Maybe I'd be in the NBA somewhere. But he legit, he found out he's a PR machine. All the attention is on me. They laughing and joking at me. They think I'm crazy, but y'all are doing the work.
And then he even said his son was going to bring a championship to L.A. It didn't happen that first year.
Right.
But he was on a championship team. And who was he with? The Los Angeles Lakers.
And was he? No, Melo wasn't on. I mean, Lonzo wasn't on that team.
He wasn't on there when the Lakers won?
Because as a matter of fact, LeBron shipped him out to bring in. He was a part of that Anthony Davis deal.
Oh, that's right. Because he went to New York.
He went to New Orleans. He sent him to New Orleans, and now he's in Chicago. But he sent him to New Orleans to get Anthony Davis because everybody knows that Lonzo can play basketball.
Yeah.
Like, despite all the stuff and all the things that they tried to say about his dad was going to be the distraction and everybody, who the hell is thinking about your dad when you play basketball? Okay. That was the biggest.
Stephen Allen. What's his name? That's his name.
Stephen A.
Stephen A.
That was the dumbest stuff I've ever heard in my life. Oh, when he lined up against Steph Curry gonna punish him for all the things his daddy said. What? Who says that? Tell your dad I said, shut your mouth next time. Ain't nobody gonna say no dumb stuff like that. When we playing basketball, I'm trying to beat you because I'm trying to beat you. I want to win the game.
Hello. The only thing he said that didn't come true was the shoe deal.
True.
Because that shoe deal would have worked if they had had that stealing ass manager.
Right.
He tried to get his off the top.
On the plug twice.
Oh my God. He was stealing the money. Where you going with that money?
And I think somebody would have sabotaged it eventually anyway. Nike was not about to have a competitor. Under Armour is reaching at straws. They were not about to let somebody else come in and Reebok is reaching at straws. I heard. I still want to know if Master P was he's still talking about buying Reebok.
It would take a little time. It'll take a little time. Our sister showed us. Oprah showed us.
Right.
When she got her own network. It's just like, yeah, it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time, but it can happen.
I think somebody would have sabotaged them. Like, I legit think that if somebody would have. If it hadn't have been for the manager stealing, it'd have been somebody else trying to say he was cooking books or cheating taxes or something. It would have been something they would try to throw at him.
But if you're going to go with these, like the Nikes and the Reeboks and Adidas and all of that, then you need to get Jay-Z in on your deal so he can help you get that deal. Because Jay-Z is a genius when it comes to hooking up with another company and getting a deal. Because I'm telling you, when Beyonce did that concert for who was that? And they said that we want to pay you like $40 million. She's like, no, just give me some shares. I want some stock.
Was that the
No, that was
that
Uber. Was that Uber?
That was Coachella though, wasn't it?
I think it was the Super Bowl. It was the Super Bowl. No, Super Bowl don't pay.
Yeah, Super Bowl don't pay. Super Bowl is all promotion.
No, I think it was Uber.
It might have been Uber.
Yeah.
Because what wound up happening was, like you said, she wanted stock.
Yeah.
She wanted stock. She didn't want she didn't want the money.
So she ended up getting when she did, they say her stock is worth like $400 million. So
I would say for Jay-Z don't mind getting rid of it. He'll get in and he'll get out.
Yeah.
And that's when I've heard so many people complaining about title. Jay-Z hit y'all with you need to shop black and all this stuff. And then he sold it to the white man. Everybody signed up for title and he sold it to the white man.
But what's started that one. He started that trend. And then he just fell off the wayside. 50 cents when he did that with the water.
Yeah. But that's once again, that's smart. That's having people around you that actually give you advice and don't want you just to be one particular person.
Okay. I'm here with the commissioner right here. We are your radio. We're your radio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride right here at Club Chit Chat. I'm doing all this talking. We're supposed to be in that break, honey, but the commissioner can only be here until 4 o'clock, so I have to get all the talk.
I'm actually going to stay till 4:30. Because I walked in and, I walked in behind schedule.
you are right, because I know if you got some other stuff that you have to do, honey. So don't be trying to. You all right, honey, if you have to go at 4. But this song right here, let me see what I'm gonna play. Let me put my eyelets on, because I can't see without these eyelets on. Act Like That, by Jalen, honey, featuring Taylor Gray, honey. Act Like That. You know this song, Act Like That? Gordon,
I do not.
Commissioner, don't act like that, then. Here it is, Act Like That. Welcome back, Club Chit Chat with your DJ, Miss Sophia, right here on Will You Radio. Will You Radio, we're the home of the urban sound of pride. I'm telling y'all, the commissioner and I in here, we need to write a book, honey. So we just here talking, honey. And you know what I thought about the other day? With this coronavirus situation. I said, this coronavirus situation and how we was like, oh my God, the coronavirus and everybody got it, and this is just a pandemic and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Like, oh my God, this is horrible. This is awful. We've never been through something like this and da, da, da. And then, I saw a report on CNN and they was talking about, yesterday or day before yesterday, they was talking about, coronavirus has surpassed the number of people who died from the flu back in the day when he had the flu pandemic.
I think I saw that.
And then I was like, you know what? I said, well, we already have been here before.
Right.
With the flu. And I say, but to us, our generation, this is the first time that we have experienced a pandemic like this. And I say, back in the day when the flu was going on, they were trying to get these vaccinations for the flu and everything. We wasn't around. We wasn't thinking about that. But then it's just like, it's just life. It's just repeating itself.
It is. And it's flu, it's several diseases. All the diseases that you get vaccinated for as a baby or as
polio,
a toddler, all of that stuff that you get. So it's been done before. I think now with the power of the telephone, everybody is connected to everybody. So it just seems like it's this brand new innovative idea, or it's worse than what it actually is. And I don't think the only difference may be I don't think the world shut down
right
like that. So I think you still had people doing their jobs, whatever the job was, but you still had to be on the lookout for like the flu or polio and everything.
Right, because I think like you said, the whole world didn't shut down at the same time. I think it was just different. It was traveling around the world, at different times, but at the same time, it's just like everybody had to be vaccinated for the flu. And then I was thinking about, like the old folks we talk about. Then I was thinking about, we done went through this before with the flu, something similar with the flu. So then I was thinking about all the things that since I've been in Atlanta since 99. I moved here in 99. And I was thinking about all the things that I have seen change here in Atlanta since I've been here. And then when I go back home to Texas, I look at how Texas has changed so much, Houston to be exact, how it has changed so much. And then I was just thinking about all of these people that are 90-some years old, 100-some years old, and I was just thinking about the little stuff that I have witnessed changing since I moved to Atlanta. Just imagine what those people experienced and what all they have saw.
Yeah, I always think about that whenever I hear about somebody passing away and they say, oh, well, she was 103 years old. I'm like, damn, you think about all the history that happened in your lifetime that you saw 100 years. Let's say just taking it from 100 years from now, from 1921 to 2021, all the stuff that you saw that, like, you couldn't even have imagined a computer walking around with a telephone, with an actual computer.
On the phone, walking down the streets.
In 1945. When she was 25 years old.
And then when I went to my cousin's funeral, we just funeralized my cousin like a couple of weeks ago, and then it's just like her plot was next to my grandfather's plot, my mom's dad. And then I looked at it, and I did not realize that my grandfather was born in the 1800s. He was like 1880 or something on his plot. And I called my mama after. I said, Mama, I didn't realize that Papa was born in 1880. She said, child, that was Joe boy. Papa wasn't born in 1880. Papa was born in 1890. I'm like,
where's the difference?
He was 10 years old. But it's just like my grandfather was born in 1890. I'm like, I've never seen that.
But that also goes to show how close we are to the slavery, that whole little period, because a lot of times they want us to believe like it was so long ago. That wasn't me. That was, you need to just move on from that. No, My granddaddy, like you just said.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Whites only at this water fountain. And then you think about, because we look at it in, like when we were growing up during our time when we was in school, and we talk about Martin Luther King and the marching and the protesting and all of that. But then it's just like when you see, no, they were fire hosing these people and they was doing this and they was doing that. And then we're going to go to break and come back because you're going to be here for another 30 minutes. But the whole situation that's going on with the Haitian refugees down there in Texas.
That's crazy.
And then,
with
the whip and the horses. And you know what somebody brought to my attention? I hadn't thought about it. Somebody said, let me just tell you something. If you think that the white man don't think that he still owns the black man and the black man is a slave, she said, you just look at what happened with these Haitian refugees down there in Mexico. He said, now tell me, when have you seen the same kind of reaction with white men with whips on horses whooping all these Mexicans? And how long the Mexicans been at the border? You ain't never seen them down there on no horses.
You just go to
the
opposite side. You just brought how many people from Afghanistan? About 150,000 people from Afghanistan, but these Haitians is the problem? So, it just goes to show you it's selective. So anybody who says that racism is dead, they'll lie.
And the truth ain't in them. Right. They see it on the TV every day just like we saw it. But we're going to talk about it. I'm going to take a break and we're going to talk about it when we get back because we're getting ready to go into this 4 o'clock hour. But I just want to let everybody know that the 3 o'clock hour has been brought to you by falltacular.com. If you want to know how to get to falltacular.com, honey, then you need to keep it tuned in right here at We Are Your Radio. We're Your Radio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride. I am the one and only Miss Sophia with the Commissioner.
Commissioner Gordon.
Let's ride. We are your radio. We are your radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. I do believe y'all can hear me when I'm out there. Because it's like I had this mic down, honey, but I'm talking and I can hear myself. Oh, I can't hear him. They can't hear. It's not going out. Okay, let me raise it back up then. Hey, this is your girl, Miss Sophia, holding down right here on We Are Your Radio. We Are Your Radio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride. If you can hear me when I was out there, honey, let me know. Let me know because I got some splaining to do, honey. Because I done just killed somebody. I'm here with the Commissioner Gordon. Hey, Commissioner.
What's happening?
Oh, you got it. We was in here. The Commissioner, he talks sports, honey. Everything sports. But listen, we've been just having life conversations today. It all started out with him talking about his son wanting to be in the band. Hey, this is a whole nother beast, honey. You talking about you want to be in the marching band? Okay, this is something else. But, since you talk about sports, what do you think about Novak Djokovic? Because everybody was pulling for him to win the Grand Slam. And then he got up there and lost in straight sets at the U.S. Open, the last major tournament of the year.
It's been funny because, especially in tennis, it's been a lot of upsets. Like
on the women's side, especially
on the women's side. It's a dude, man. I can't think of his name. It was a black dude.
Ooh, and what? Was it August Alsina?
August Alsina?
What's his name? Alsina. No.
I can't remember.
The Canadian is the black dude from Canada. Then there's the black dude from France.
I thought it was a black dude from here, but he wasn't highly rated. And he wasn't upset. He wasn't upset, but he was actually playing to the crowd.
I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of his name to save my life.
Tiafo.
I think that might have been.
Mm-hmm.
But he was playing, and I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, well, let me see what he gonna do, because I don't know whatever it is about me. Instinctively, I always root for the black person. And so I'm watching him, and then he started doing like the Hulk Hogan stuff where he putting his hand behind his ear, he playing it up, and I'm like, who is this dude? Like
Tiafo.
But nobody's talking about you.
He's coming up in the ranks. Yeah, he's coming up in the ranks of American player. I think he's like, he's
I'm
up
glad
there.
you said it. I'm going to have to follow him because when I watch, and I'm sitting here now, because a lot of people don't like tennis.
Mm-hmm. But before you go on, I just want to say that I say August Alsina, that's the singer.
No, I was like,
it's Felix Alizé or something like that, the one from Canada. But Tiafo, that's the one that you're talking about. He played doubles with Serena one time, mixed doubles with Serena.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to follow him because I sat there and I was glued to the TV for I don't know how many straight sets. I was just sitting there watching. I was like, this dude here,
he's a beast.
If if he goes on a run, like he could really captivate.
But you know what? What hurts him is he is good. He is good, and he's coming up in the ranks here in the United States because he's a U.S. player. But what hurts him is he has these long, because you know the men, they the best 3 out of 5 sets, and so then he get in a situation where he have these long matches that go 5 sets.
Right.
So then it's just like when he pull it off and he wins the 5 setters, when he has to play his next match. That done took so much out of him until, you know, like you'll have a good run of the first 3 sets and stuff, and then it's just like when it get to that 4th set, it's just like he drained, he's tired. And that's the same thing that happened to Novak Djokovic in the U.S. Open, because the guy who ended up winning the U.S. Open, remember a couple years ago at the U.S. Open, the guy who the fans started booing and everything because he was just like taunting the audience and everything. And then he would win the match. And then when he got to the finals, he ended up losing. And so then everybody felt sorry for him because he was about in tears. He was almost in tears. So everybody started feeling sorry for him. And he said, I don't know why y'all keep booing. The more you boo, the more I'm going to win. And then for him to come back and win the U.S. Open and to stop Novak Djokovic from getting the Grand Slam, everybody was like, yeah, we happy for you, but we're really mad because we wanted you to let Djokovic win. And Djokovic there, they cried.
But that's the thing about sports, man. I always tell people I don't really watch a lot of TV because I watch sports, and it's the ultimate like reality TV because you can't script it. Like as much as people will tell you, they gonna script it for LeBron or they'll script it for whoever. You can't really script this stuff because you have people, they want to win too. It ain't the Harlem Globetrotters where you got the Washington Generals out here and they just know they roll. These other folks are getting paid to win too. And you can say you try to set it up for LeBron or you try to set it up for Tom Brady or whoever you don't like, but these folks out here, and you can never tell who's going to win.
But listen, I hear you.
Here you go.
I hear you. But I think sometimes it's just like, you know, the best man win or the best woman win. But I'm telling you, I have to go back to the Atlanta Dream, the Atlanta Dream basketball team. They were having a wonderful season this season. And not this season, I'm just saying in the past when they were predicted to win the whole thing, the championship. But my friend was with Barnum and Bailey, the circus.
Okay.
And they rented out the Phillips Arena. It was Phillips Arena at the time. Right. They rented out Phillips Arena, and he was like, you know, he called me. He said, hey, I'm letting you know we're going to be in town. You said whenever I'm in Atlanta, let you know so you can come and check out the show. I said, when y'all going to be in town? He said, such. It's like, the Atlanta Dream, they in the playoffs. They in the playoffs. I
remember that.
And so if the Atlanta Dream win, then they're going to be in the next round of the playoffs. So how are we going to have the circus and the Dream playing in the Phillips Arena at the same time? And if I tell you I went to that game and it was just like, those girls they would just miss. I mean, if they were missing layups, they were missing just shot, from 6 feet away. They miss, and I'm like, they are throwing this game away. And the reason I feel like they're throwing this game away is because the Phillips Arena is already rented out for the Barnum Bailey Circus. They're gonna be here for a couple of months. So I was like, they throwing that game away. So if they do that,
I think, and this is just I believe they would have, and this is just the commissioner coming out there. They would have had to have had the game at like Georgia Tech for the Dream. Because I know the Dream have had some Georgia stuff at Georgia Tech. But, I mean, a lot of that scheduling stuff is kind of crazy. And because you talk about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones do that all the time. Jerry Jones will have a monster truck show at the same time as whoever, like the state championship in Texas. And so, yeah, I don't think that these – I would like to think that it's not as scripted. I mean, I know for a fact that yes,
they don't be cheating.
The leagues, whether it's the NFL, NBA, whoever it is, they put their stars in the best position to succeed because, of course, you have your generators, and the more people talk about them, the more money comes in, the more people are polarizing one way or the other. That's why you can watch ESPN. If you watch ESPN, Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless or whoever it is, they're going to talk about LeBron. They're going to talk about Tom Brady, and they're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Because that jars the most reaction from people.
And also, that's payola.
Right.
They get paid to do that. They paid under the table to talk about those teams. And that's what make those teams. It's just like the Dallas Cowboys. How can you just say the Dallas Cowboys are America's team? No, they're not America's team. The Dallas Cowboys are Dallas's team. But a lot of those little country towns that don't have football teams in Oklahoma and all that stuff that are football towns because the colleges on those in those states are mega big, then they support the Dallas Cowboys and all those teams and all that. But it's like, they're not our team. They're not America's team.
The Braves used to say that too, but the Braves' reasoning was different because the Braves were on TBS. So TBS, if you just had a television, you had TBS, you had Channel 17, the Superstation or whatever. So that's why they said they were America's team, because you could be in Dallas, Texas, and you could watch the Braves. You could be in Chicago and watch the Atlanta Braves. So that's why they were saying that. But Jerry Jones took that and ran with it, and I was like...
And then at that time when I was growing up, I know the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders were huge. They had, I mean, they were so big until that's who had the first reality show. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. They were showing the auditions and all that stuff, and all those people that were showing up to audition for the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, it was like crazy. But then you would want to think that cheating don't happen in the professional sports, because you look at something like the Los Angeles Lakers and the Los Angeles Clippers. They play in the same stadium. And then when you look at it, it's just like sometimes they both in the playoffs. And you look at it, it's just like, okay, the Clippers playing today, the Lakers playing tomorrow. They flip that whole arena, and you don't even know it's the same arena.
Right, because the Lakers got like, 14, 15 banners up there, and then when when the Clippers play, they got to take it all down.
And the seating.
And the Clippers don't have anything, so they have like a couple retired jerseys. But going back to your whole, the kind of the refs or it's cheating, like I watched the game this past week. It was Seattle and Tennessee. The game wound up going into overtime.
Right. I was so mad. Russell lost.
Russell Wilson was supposed to have gotten a safety. They had tackled him in the end zone. But I don't know what the referee saw. But for whatever reason, he claimed that the progress had been stopped at the 1 yard line.
And he was clearly in the end zone.
And everybody from Tennessee, everybody was sitting there like, safety. And it was like, right here. I was like, wait a minute.
On the 1 yard, at the inch line. That wasn't even the 1 yard, it was the inch.
I said, how would you determine that?
Because I thought in the well, this was overtime. It wasn't the final 2 minutes. But I thought in that situation, overtime, that they would have to go back and look at the video and review it. But then it's just like, it was clear he was down in the end zone.
So they have loopholes in all these rules, and I'm figuring it out as we go along, and they start talking about it. And you're like, but you didn't say that last week.
Right, but not only that, which game was that? The Seattle game where the guy, they had got the quarterback, and the quarterback ended up throwing the ball, but then they say that, oh no, he got sacked because he was in the grass. And it's like, no, he was able to throw the ball. Yeah. But the ball didn't make it to the line of scrimmage. So they end up
that was last week. That was
this week.
This week.
I just watched that game this week. And I can't think of who it was. It was the quarterback. It was a big game. But anyway, whoever it was, they got two touchdowns called back on penalties.
That sounds like the same game then. That sounds like Tennessee.
Because they got a touchdown and then they called it back because of penalty. Somebody was offside or holding. They got a holding call. And then they got another touchdown and they brought it back because they had two penalties against them. And one of them was, if y'all accept this penalty, then they're going to have to give them the touchdown and they'll just mark the yard style. So it's just like, now we're going to take the other penalty. So they end up backing them up. And it's just like, then they end up sacking the quarterback. Well, he grabbed the quarterback and he had him. Then the quarterback got rid of the ball. So he was like, oh, okay, that's a sack. And it's like, no, he got rid of the ball. But same thing happened to Russell Wilson.
A lot of this stuff, we think they're just making it up. But they're actually trying to make the game what they presume is marketable. And there's been a whole thing about I don't know if you've seen it, taunting.
Oh yeah,
The whole taunting thing. Like if I sack the quarterback, I can't get up and do the dance, or if he's right here beside me, I can't like do my dance or say nothing
Spike
to him.
the ball.
I can't spike the ball because they're charging it 15 yards.
right. But you know what? And then it's just like, since you brought that up, when the NFL lost so much money because of COVID, and then because a lot of people were upset with the NFL because of the kneeling situation, and they wasn't penalizing the players and making the players, stopping the players from kneeling and all that. Then the fans started boycotting. A lot of stadium was empty and all of that. So they go through all of that. And then that was one of the things that they brought back. They said, the players are going to have to be allowed to celebrate. And, you can't take that away from them because that's part of the game, them celebrating. So then it's just like they brought all that back. You can spike the ball, you can do all this. So then it's just like when I was watching the game, it's like, oh, now they back to penalizing y'all for celebrating.
And it's not just, I think one of the owners got mad. So what wound up happening was Tyreek Hill for Kansas City. Kansas City played, this is last year, Kansas City played Tampa Bay in, I don't know, I think it was week 15, something like that. Mm-hmm. So what winds up happening, Tyreek Hill, one of the fastest guys in the NFL, what he would do is when he catches that corner and he sees that like, okay, I'm on the sideline, I'm taking off, ain't nobody finna catch me. He just, peace, throw up sign, I'm out of here, and he go on, and like if you run into him, it's kind of like, it looks like it's in your face. Mm-hmm. You go fast forward to the Super Bowl, and the same two teams are playing, Tampa Bay and Kansas City Chiefs. And so Tampa Bay made it a point where we're not fooling with Tyreek Hill. He's not getting loose. He's not going to break free. He's not running. Tampa Bay wins, and one of the guys running up to him and in his face, put
the peace
sign in his face. And so one of the owners didn't like it. So now that became taunting. And that made it the highlight of, well, we got to change this because not the players. No player went out there and was like, oh, he hurt my feelings.
Right.
No player went out there and said that. It was all because of the owners, the dudes who don't play, the guys who feel like they own the players.
Yeah, they feel like they slave owners. They slave owners.
And they don't want you doing that in my guy's face. Just like when T.O. went up there and tried to stand on the star in Dallas, and they got mad. Wow, you better go over there and defend the star with all your honor.
And then what's called? Because somebody did it. Who Dallas played this week? Was it
Dallas played?
Was it Seattle?
They played the Chargers.
Oh, baby.
They played the Chargers.
I was tickled because somebody, one of the players, Seattle, when he got a touchdown, he did the little thing by feed me, let Ezekiel Elliott too. I said, oh, honey, y'all see it. I be saying, y'all be celebrating too, but you do all that stuff once the game is over because Dallas ended up winning that game. Mm-hmm. So I said, see there, you all out there playing, honey. You worried about feed me, honey. You end up losing.
Well, that's what they was talking about with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson flipped into the end zone, and the first thing I
was so mad at him. But the reason I gave him a pass because, like I said, a lot of my teams had lost. The Texans had lost. The Saints had lost. Then Dallas had won. Didn't want them winning. Then Lamar Jackson, he saved the day with the last game of the night, honey. When they won, they beat Tom Brady. Was it Tampa Bay?
No, they beat the Chiefs.
The former football. The Super Bowl champ, but Patrick Mahomes, honey, it's beginning to look like he just got lucky. His first year in the league, got that championship. They won the Super Bowl.
You got to pay everybody, and once you start having to pay people, the team has to change. So you have to be smart. That's when management, these dudes who get paid to manage the money, that's when it comes into play because now we have to manage the book because now Pat Mahomes getting like $40 million a year.
Yeah, he got that Super Bowl, so he was able to go in there and negotiate a good deal. But it's just like with Matt Ryan. They went in there and negotiated that good deal. Now Matt Ryan ain't producing nothing, and they talking about get rid of Matt Ryan.
And that's why I knew we weren't going to. I argue with my friend all the time. A friend of mine, he always said he wanted Justin Fields. And I get why he wanted Justin Fields because what you're doing, you're saying, okay, the team is sorry. Mm-hmm. And if you understand that the team is terrible, you have an aging quarterback, You don't have a running back. They knew that Julio wanted to leave already.
Mm-hmm.
So all you have to do, you bring in this young quarterback he's from around the area. You bring him in, and you show everybody we're starting on a new direction.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of doing that, you brought in a tight end, and you tried to tell everybody, oh, we still good. We still okay. And you not.
Okay.
Clearly you not.
And what about the quarterback? I'm going to ask you this. We got to get out of here because I know you got to go. The quarterback that was in New Orleans, the backup quarterback, the black guy.
Jameis?
Yes. He got hurt. It's like 3 or 4 quarterbacks that got hurt this past Sunday.
Jameis is okay. Tyrod Taylor got hurt.
The Houston quarterback.
That's Tyrod Taylor.
Okay.
He got hurt. Somebody else just got. I got the list. Tua Tagovailoa from Miami. He got hurt. Andy Dalton got hurt.
Right.
Now is going to have to Justin Fields.
Andy Dalton sound like the coach.
And it's funny because he red hair and everything. Carson Wentz got hurt.
Yeah, that's the one, Carson. Yeah.
Carson
and then
Wentz
they think they're gonna be out like 3 and 4 weeks. And, somebody's indefinite. They don't. He's day to day. How they saying?
Who was T.J. Watt? Well, he's not the quarterback. But this is the problem with the NFL. They just extended this season to 17 games.
Right.
And so with that, they preach all this, player safety. What did they do for the players when you add an extra game? They didn't do anything.
Nothing.
They gave them no testing of marijuana.
So we're gonna let you smoke weed as long as you play one extra game.
Play another game. We'll let you smoke weed.
But see, you can't blame the NFL, the owners for that. That is the player, right? The players' union. They were supposed to go in there and negotiate a deal because the players were boycotting. They were voicing their opinion. They're like, we don't want to extend no season, no extra game. They said we're not finna get no more money. They said all that money that they getting from that extra game is just like, what y'all gonna give us from that? And they like, nothing.
Weed.
We gonna give y'all nothing. And they're like, huh?
Y'all get these backwoods. But that, like you said, is the union. I think personally, had I been in the room anywhere, I would have asked, why don't you ask for an extra bye week?
Like, didn't they ask for that?
They didn't push for it hard enough, apparently, because you didn't get it. But if you're playing 17 weeks, you're playing the whole extra game. Like, some of these teams are going to play what? I think in terms of like the Falcons, let's say the Falcons. I think Falcons play like the first 5 games, and then they have a bye week. Mm-hmm. And then you play 11 more games.
Right.
Why didn't you ask for another bye week after, like, so you have a bye week in week 5, you have a bye week in week 10, and then you can play, the last 5 or 6 games. But you could take care of yourself a little bit better. When you playing 10, 12 straight games, it's just you wake up and repeat. You wake up, hurt yourself, and repeat.
Right. And conditioning. You gotta stay in the gym. But I think with the Falcons, I don't think they need to ask for another bye week. I think they need to ask for a bye season.
There you go. Like I said, I said it earlier. I'm a realist. I can take it.
Your uncle them got you in there.
I can take it. I understand.
But listen, it's just like they say, like, when you were a child, you know how some people say, because my mom and them, they did it, and my dad.
So
and
now you know better.
They say, listen, when your mom and your dad, you was growing up, your mom and your dad, they were like, your parents, so that you had to listen to your mom and dad. They were dictators. So now that you're older and you can make your own decisions, you have an opportunity to walk away from the Falcons. You don't have to stay there because your family, your uncle, your grandpa, your great grandpa, and all them, you could walk away from the Falcons. It's okay. And y'all be out there like the Falcons, show enough winning, baby. And I'm tired. I'm trying to get to the drag show on Sunday, to the brunch. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to get out of here. I'm trying to get to the drag show, the brunch on Sunday. Y'all set up out there, all that,
That's right.
that tailgating and everything. Y'all sit out there, and Miss Sheila out there with her barbecue pit. She's selling plates.
It's more fun than the game. It's more. I went to one tailgate. They had a whole stripper pole.
Oh my God!
It was 3 TVs, stripper poles. They had 5 grills. It was
and the motorcycle games. Everybody be out there. It is just unbelievable. All the people that are out there.
Ain't nobody studying going in.
Look, and they don't even study. Half of the people don't even know. You got the jersey and everything on. You say, "Oh, you root for Atlanta, huh?"
You know what's funny?
The Falcons, huh?
Too much. You had a jersey. They would have that Michael Vick jersey. Like it's still 2003.
It's some good. It's some good.
That Michael Vick, they have Roddy White jersey. Like, what? You know that jersey is like 20 years old.
They got Dion. They got neon Dion.
Yeah, they do not care. But I will not switch. I'll make the declaration.
But if y'all not gonna switch, y'all at least need to get rid of Arthur Blank. If y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I would support every team in the NFL if y'all would get rid of Arthur Blank, Jerry Jones, and that big punk up there in New England. No, the one of the New England Patriots.
Yeah,
Robert Kraft. Yeah, if y'all get rid of them 3, I'll support. Is that it? Those are only 3 that I have a problem with. Robert Kraft, Arthur Blank, and Jerry Jones.
Robert Kraft should have told Sean Watson where he was getting the massages from.
Well, he got in trouble too. He just had more money to pay.
He just paid it
to cover it up. Yeah, because the video's gonna leak. Because I talked to my cousin, she'd already seen it.
With a Robert Kraft video?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were threatening him. You know, they had threatened him.
Yeah.
And he tried to tighten up. But that's why.
But she say that if that video get out, I would say this don't get out of here. I keep saying that. She said if that video get out, y'all gonna think Robert Kraft is a trans man. You know what I'm saying? And I think he need to come on and let everybody know that there's a trans man owner in the NFL. He making history. On that note, listen, we gonna get out of here. I know you gotta go, honey, but I just want to ask your take. You know, you can tell everybody your take on this situation, and then you could tell everybody how they can keep up with you. Lil Nas X.
I personally think Lil Nas X, whoever his PR people is, they are doing their job because he's a professional. Like, he's trolling people. If you have any type of homophobic anything in anybody, he is trolling you. He's poking, and he's doing the hell of a promotion. Like, my son said, he's like, Dad, I know you probably ain't gonna listen, but Lil Nas X got a good ass. Well, he didn't say good ass, but he said he got a good album. And I was like, really? But a lot of people won't get to the music because they're stuck on the trolling, the whole baby thing, the whole blood with the Nikes and all that stuff. But I think for as many people who will be like, oh, I ain't watching that, he's also attracting people to say, let me see what he got going on over here. So the older generation is going to be like, I don't want to do, but all the younger generation, he's drawing the eyes. So, like I said, my son listened to it. He said he had a good album. And if you're doing all of this PR stuff, all these stunts, and you have the music to go with it, I can't ever be mad at you. Like, you doing what you're supposed to do. That's actually what you do in terms of promotion. And not only
that, I think one of the things that he's doing and he's successful with it is everything that you all, try to make a controversy. He takes it and he turns it into a charitable event, and he attached all these charities to these things. Just like when he did the whole thing about, I'm pregnant, and y'all was going in about how could he do that? That's so disrespectful. Blah blah blah. And then he had the baby shower, and then he attached all these nonprofit organizations to the baby shower where you can go and register. He registered these organizations. Y'all can go and make donations to these organizations and everything. So just like, he's a genius to me. He is a genius. And
I said troll because, like, it's almost like whoever's picking at your fears. You've shown the fact that you like, okay, I don't like this, and you don't like that, and it's like, okay, well, I'll give you that plus some plus this. you don't like that, okay, well, let me double down on it, and so it keeps you talking about them. And so, like I said, whenever you have, no matter what the artist is, if you can keep somebody, that's the name of the game right now. If ain't nobody talking about you for 2 weeks, you done. It don't matter. Like, that's why you see Drake, Future, all these dudes, they keep making music, and you can't say they making classic music, but they keep making music, because if they stop, then it's over. Because in today's world, if they don't hear from you in 2 weeks, 2 months, you done. Rihanna probably would never make another album again, because now people don't even look at her as a musician. You sell lingerie.
50.
Yeah. You're not an artist anymore. You are a clothing designer. So once you stop, you done. And he's kept his name out there. And so that's the genius part about it. And I ain't mad at him. Keep going.
And now I think, I'm going to say this and we're going to go. And I think now I read that I do believe he has hooked up with some company, and they getting ready to bring that shoe back. They're getting ready to bring that shoe back that was such a big controversy with the blood in it. They're talking about this 666, the devil shoe, and all that. So I do believe that he hooked up with some company, and they are getting ready to bring that shoe.
Now, will it still be the same Nike?
No, it's not going to be Nike. It's going to be somebody else. I think they're going to create the shoe.
Okay. Yeah, and that was the only thing. I think, and I didn't know how much he could have done, because you have people spinning off and marketing and making and creating shoes on their own. You can go customize anything. I can go customize a shoe today. But I mean, it's up to Nike to hit them with the cease and desist, because maybe the shoe was outselling
Nike,
the original shoe, the original Air Max.
But I think it's when you were in here, you the one that told us that what he did was they took the Nike shoe,
right,
and they just redesigned it. And they let you know that it wasn't a original Nike shoe. It was just a Nike shoe that they came and put their own spin on it.
You can customize anything. It happens all the time. Like, you can go on Instagram right now, and it's a dude who will show you how you can dip this shoe in this box of colors, and it'll change this color, that color, and you can put all kind of stuff on. They have all kind of like workshops now where you can just change and customize the shoe to you want. You can get a plain white shoe, and in 3 hours, the shoe will look totally different. And Nike ain't said a word to those people.
Right. But when they ain't getting no money from it, then they have a problem with it.
But now, when you got a shoe, and now it's selling way more than your shoe, people are buying that shoe to get this one. Now it's like, wait a minute, they hit you with the cease and desist.
So then I tell everybody, honey, once he took that I'm gay card from them, they had nothing else to say. It's just like, what are y'all going to use against him? Because he already told y'all, oh, he's just a little old gay guy. I told you that already.
Right.
So now he out here walking on the red carpet. You don't know if it's Lil Nas X or if it's Billy Porter.
He's so like, oh my Billy Porter.
But I'm your girl, Miss Sophia. This is the Commissioner Garden. How can they keep in contact with you?
You can always talk to me at G Robinson Sports on Twitter, at the.commissioner.gordon on Instagram.
All right. We are you radio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride, baby. Yes, we are. Right now, we're just going to let y'all listen to this song. Let me see. Let me get my eyelets. What my eyelets? You know I can't see, Garden. This is, this gospel. Let Your Will Be Done by Ann Nesbitt. Ann Nesbitt. Oh, child. What you call them passed today? Sarah Dash. Sarah Dash used to be with Patti LaBelle, Nona Hendrix. What was the name of that group? LaBelle. Yeah, I know he knew, because that's Patty. That's a Patty fan right there. You want to come over here and get some encouraging word to the people and on the passing of Sarah Dash? Is there a word from Reverend George? We got the commissioner and the bishop in here. Oh, Bishop. Sarah Dash that went on home, honey. You don't want to say no words? But I'm playing, honey. But I'm gonna come back. We're gonna talk about, because there was another evangelist that got her wings, honey. And everybody been posting about her, honey. She was one of the greats, honey. Who?
AJ Johnson.
AJ Johnson. I talked about him yesterday. Yeah, his past. AJ Johnson, the comedian / actor that was in Friday.
Right.
It was just like, oh my God! Did you hear how he died? They say that he died in a store. They say that somebody found him in a store, passed out, and they end up calling the paramedics and everything. His cousin said they found him in a store, and they took him to the hospital, and he was pronounced dead at the hospital.
I was trying to figure out how he passed away. Like everything I'd seen had said he passed away, but nothing gave detail as to how he passed away.
His cousin released a statement saying that he was found, passed out in a store. Called ambulance and he was dead.
56, right?
55. Baby, God is calling the roll. All right, Commissioner, thank you.
Gonna send me out on the sad one, huh? See?
Oh no, we can talk. Well, let me talk about something else since you don't want to go out on a sad note. And this, we're not gonna be able to play you. The commission said he was leaving at 4:30. It's going on 5. But let's see. We can talk about on a good note. Who you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? We just had 2 games. Who you think gonna win?
I'd have to keep going. I still say Kansas City and Tampa Bay is the Super Bowl again.
I think Russell gonna have a phenomenal season this year.
I'd like it. I'd like him to be able to go out there. I just don't think they have
the support of the other team members that he need around him.
He has a receiver. I don't think they had a running game because in the playoffs come around, you got to be able to run the football.
But I think gonna be a problem for Kansas City, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
because I think they're hungry.
Speaking of Lamar, we were talking about like contracts and stuff earlier. He's trying to negotiate his own contract. I don't know why. Like, I would recommend you get an agent, but he's negotiating. And if they didn't sign some kind of deal after the other day, the way he brought him back, he should have. They should sign a long-term contract because, like, right now he's like I want to say he's the 50th highest rated, like damn near quarterback. Like, he's low. Like, their backups being paid more than Lamar Jackson.
That's why he probably doing his own contract. And I think that if he get him and his mama go in there, he'll get a good deal because his mama is a beast.
Yeah, I said his mama was like his management for a minute. Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna let that go. I think she's still in.
Yeah, well, she need to go ahead and get some of them rooms because they need to pay that man his money before he mess around and get hurt because the way that they running him, and that's my only problem. They put the whole team on Lamar Jackson, and they've run their offense almost as if you would imagine a team like Buffalo because they run it like they're in a real cold weather city where we're gonna run and pound it, run it, and then we'll try to catch you off guard with a pass here or there. But it's all on Lamar Jackson, and they wonder why. Like he'll have these mess ups. He fumbled the first week, and everybody was trying to put it all Lamar. You can't do it all, but you can't ask him to be 97% of the offense,
right?
And that's too much. But I would recommend. I don't care who your agent is. Go ahead and get that check, get that money, get it out the way, so that you can have some guaranteed money. Because if anything happened to you in the NFL, they just gonna put you to the side.
Because you just a dollar sign to them. They don't know your name. They just know how much money you bringing in.
Basically.
All right. Is that a better note to send you out on?
That is a little better.
You feel better?
Yeah. I feel
going
better.
out, Lamar Jackson. The commissioner said, get you somebody, go in there and get that money. If you can't get it, you go in there and get somebody else to get it for you.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, but he looking at that fee he have to pay them, honey. He says, I can just get all this money. Get all the money.
Hey, better get it all before you get none.
Now, why would you say that? We were supposed to go out on a positive note.
I'm sorry.
Get all that money.
Go ahead and get all your money.
You're going to get that money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Let Your Will Be Done by Ann Nesby. Lamar Jackson, let that check come. And when that check come, remember we said let your will be done. And you remember to take that 10th off and send it over here to We Are You Radio. Pay your tithes.